In this video, we want to talk about passing objects as parameters. Now, objects can be passed as parameters to methods. For the declaration syntax, we'll have the access level, which is public or private or protected, and then we'll have return type, followed by the method name, and then we'll have the object type, followed by the object name in the argument list, and then we'll have our body. In the method call, we will have the method name and the object reference, which is the name of the object. And class methods can be used on the object in the method implementation. So let's see an example in here that will make everything make sense. Now for students register for courses. So what I did is I created a class here. I called it course, and right now my course class is an empty class. I don't have anything in that class. So let me just create some instance variables for this. I'll create a private string, and this is going to be course number. And let me go ahead and create another private string, and let me call this the description of the course. Now let me create a parameterized constructor to initialize the attributes whenever I create a course. So I will say public course, and in here I will have a string for course number and another string for course name, description. So string for description. I don't intend to include lots of things not to overcomplicate this example. And then I'll say, okay, this dot course number is equal to course number, and this dot description is equal to description. Now this is my constructor. I just need another method to give me the course info. I will not create setters and getters. I'll just create an info method. So it's going to be public void, and let me call this course info. And in here, let me just print the information of this course. So system.out.println, and I will print a string that says number plus this dot course number. Oh, I have an equal here, so this needs to be plus this dot course number, and then plus comma and description. And let me just include the description, so this dot description in here. So this is my course class. It has two instance variables. It has a constructor to create a an object and to assign values to those instance variables, and then it's got a course info method. Now I need to go back to my student class to allow my student to register for courses. But keep in mind, I don't know the number of courses that the student is going to take. So what I will need to do is I will need to add some variable here to include my objects, which are classes. So list of classes. So what is the data structure that is going to help me do this is an array list. And because the array list does not have any size, so I will create an array list of type course. We've seen previously how to create an array list of any data type like string, integer, double, but this time the array list is going to contain objects of type course. So what I will do is I'll create a private, and then it's array list, and the array list is going to include courses, so it's going to be of type course, and let me just give it a name. I'm going to call it courses. and I just need to import the array lists in here. So import java.util.ArrayList. Now every time I create a student class, I will need to initialize this array list, because if I don't, I will get a null pointer exception. So I can just go ahead here and say this dot courses is equal to a new array list, and then it's going to be an empty array list. So this code is going to be included in every constructor if I want to allow the student that is created with that constructor to register for classes. So I will have this in here as well. Now this is going to allow me to give an attribute for the classes, but I need to somehow register the classes for the student. So I need a method that will take the courses as argument. So I need to pass the object as argument. So I will create a method here that's called add course. So it's going to be public void, and I'm gonna call this add course. And in here I need to pass the object. So let me comment this and say passing objects as arguments. So the object type is going to be course because I'm passing a course, and let me call it C. Now whenever I pass a course or I want to add a course, what I want to do is I want to append it to my array list. So I'll say, okay, this dot courses, and then I need to add it to the array list. So for the array list that's called courses, I will say dot add, and my course is called C because I'm providing it from the parameters here. Now what I can do as well is I can display the courses because I want to show them. This is not necessary for our demonstration of adding or passing objects as arguments, but we need to see what we added. So I will go ahead and say public void show courses, and this doesn't take any arguments. And what I'll need to do here is I'll just need to loop over this courses array list. So system.out.println list of courses, and then after this I'll create a for loop, and for the for loop it's going to be from I is equal to 0, and we want to stop at this dot courses dot size. So we'll start from I is equal to 0 until I is less than the size of the courses array list, because remember the array list is going to start from 0, index 0, and then what I need to do is I need to print the info of that class. But how do I get the info of that class or course? If we go back, we have course info, and every time I loop over this courses array list, it's going to provide me with a course. So what I will do is inside my for loop I will say, okay, when I get a course from my courses, so this dot course dot get whatever is at index I will call the get course info or course info method on that. So this is going to show me all of my courses. Now let me go back to my demo for my student driver, and let me come here and create some courses. So course C1, or let me just call them Java 1, is equal to new course. And remember, in our constructor we have a string for the course ID, so CS 1400, and then it's called fundamentals of programming, and let me just say course Java 2 is equal to new course, and this is going to be let me say CS 1410, and this is going to be object oriented programming. You can add how many courses you would like, but I will just stay with those courses. And now I need to add those courses to my student, so I'll say s3 dot add course, and I will add Java 1, and again I will add Java 2, so s3 dot add course Java 2, and then let me get the list of the courses for my students. So s3 dot show courses. Now let me run this and see. Now I have this information printed from here, the first name, and then we change the major to that. But then the list of courses for that specific student, which is S3, is CS 1400, CS 1410. Now if I create another student, which is, let's say, S2, and assign other courses, those courses are going to be different than the courses for S3. Let's quickly demonstrate that. So let me have a student that's, let me call this S2, and let me call this Bob. Let them be relatives, and this is computer science, and I need the info of S2. So let me register Java 1 for this student. So S2 dot add course Java 1, but let me create one more course. So course math is equal, or math 1, or anything. This is equal to a new course. Let me call it math 1100, and let me call this, for example, calculus 1. Now I can use the same course that I created with multiple students because I already have that object, so I can assign it to multiple students, and I can just assign this so I don't have to assign the same courses. So add course, and then let me add math 1, and let me then say s2 dot show courses, and let me print this. Now if we look here, we have our first student with the major computer science. This is coming from here. We changed the major to information systems, and then we printed the courses for the first student. And then we have the second student that we created, and the major is computer science, and these are the list of courses because we added those courses to that student. So we have passed the objects of type course to the object of type student, and we saved them in an array list that is holding objects of type course.